So, same.
I think they might see it and
Okay,
think I'm a
let
Jew.
me get my stuff up real quick. How was tea yesterday?
Cute. I did a lot of cute shit yesterday.
Yeah, it looked cute, like a cute day.
I had a full day though, actually, when I think about it, and I didn't get no sleep until I got home later that day.
Mm-hmm.
I had a meeting with EP about just the year and what the
Mm-hmm.
team wants to do and what we're gonna do with the film team. I had a minute with my ex girlfriend. We had to rekindle and talk about some of the stuff that happened over the last year and a half because I haven't
This
spoken.
all happened yesterday.
Yeah,
How
I,
are you gonna exert that much like energy? That's crazy.
yo, listen, man. Insert energy ain't hard for me.
Yeah.
It ain't hard, especially not now. I want to do as much as possible with all the time that I have. Because trust me when I say, if you ever touch death,
Yeah.
be like,
Well, let's get into it all.
okay,
Okay, yeah, let's get into it. Let me note that down about yeah, hold on. Um, okay. So I'll do like my intro and then we always do like a icebreaker. It's like us answering a question from listener. So you'll help me give the girls advice and then we'll get into you're like and then we'll get into the interview. Okay.
okay.
So welcome to the For Your Thoughts podcast where psychology, pop culture, and self meet. I'm here with Nunnie and I know you have a real name.
It's Dasheen. Dasheen Jordan is my full name. Nunnie,
Uh-huh.
Nunnie
Nunnie.
is the way most you supposed to say it, but a lot of people say Nunnie. I be letting this slide. Can I curse on here?
Yeah.
Okay, I had that.
Yeah. So I'll introduce you exactly how you do yourself. You said one of the greatest filmmakers alive. So run us down. We know everyday people. That's like the obvious if for anyone who does know you. But what else do you do in the world of film?
I can give you a little bit of my
Period.
past.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked with a bunch of people. I've worked with Dreamville, Boss. Shout out to Boss and Dreamville. I've worked with, of course, everybody from Everyday People like MoMA, Sinclair, Maine, all those guys. Janelle Monáe, of course. We've done events with
She's
her.
so dope.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, there's so many things. All the magazines, Complex, Essence, Vibe. Remember Vibe? Vibe was my
Yeah. Vibe is my homegirl writes for Vibe still. It's still kicking it.
still kicking. Source. We SC, a lot of clothing brands. I've been around for about over 15 years now, so I've been around
Yeah.
for a while. It's like I would have to like sit down and like circle back and be like, these are all the brands I work with. Some of the brands aren't very as popular. Shout out to Very Black.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the brands aren't as popular as they used to be, so it's just really like to say them, people gonna be like, "Who?" Ah,
Yeah, but still, but you do the thing, like you do it.
I've been around the block.
Yes, and you've been doing it before it was a thing to do all this stuff, right?
Back when it was harder. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
when people wanted 3 to 6 minute videos for like $100.
that's insanity.
Freaking insanity! I
That's
swear.
insanity. Well, I wanted to interview you because we randomly met. I don't even know. I was with my homegirls who are from South Africa, and we were just at this random like rooftop party. I'm not sure even what it was, and I was in my own little mood and funk, and we just started talking. Like your story, literally, I could cry, but I'm not gonna cry. It literally gave me like hella life that day because I just was like thinking about my life in a sense of just like how you get into like a woe is me type of like mindset or just you just feel like stuck and stuff like that and you just like God always sends you like these little messages here and there and we just sat down and was chopping it up and you had this life story that was so inspiring and just kind of just like kind of put into perspective like what life needs to be for me in that moment in a sense and like what actually matters in this life. So I was like people need to hear this story. It's like it's insane, especially people like us, creatives, black people, like young black people, young black men. So we'll definitely get into that story soon.
Yeah, yeah.
But let's help the girls out with the pen pal letter. So as you guys know, we you guys write me Pennie Piece on Instagram or my email, penny.nasty@gmail.com. And I help y'all out. I am not a doctor. I don't have nobody's license, but I can help you guys from my experience, and so can my guest. So here goes. Dear Pennie, this guy that I'm talking to is so amazing. I really like him, but we are in a gray area. We aren't together yet, but it seems like he sees me as a potential partner, and so do I. We have a great chemistry and a good time together, and I really think he's the one. I want to be patient, but the gray area makes me anxious. He throws parties as well, so he's always outside, usually respectfully, but but he be out there. I go to some of his parties, but I get really anxious whenever I see him talking to a girl, and I feel disrespected sometimes. And sometimes it could be a friend or a genuine work conversation. Like I guess he like manages tables and stuff like that. So what should I do? Should I stop going to the parties? Is he not for me because I may not be able to handle the attention that he gets and how he has to be friendly in his job? I don't know. Help. So I'm gonna let you go first because this seems like your forte.
That I go through
Yeah.
every time. Even with okay, so it's his girlfriend already, right?
No, gray area.
Ooh.
That's a problem.
Okay. Now I've
They're
had
like in a situation ship, but like they both see each other as a potential something.
okay. So I've had two different types of situations. I'm in my 30s, so I've had like great relationships with women in my 30s for the last
Mm-hmm.
7 to like I'll say 7 years. The first relationship was in my earlier 30s, and she gave me problems. She didn't want to see girls talking to me. She was really jealous, and it would burn inside. It didn't matter what it was. I could introduce to. They could become friends. At the end of the day, she still thought that person wanted to have sex with me or wanted to
Yeah.
me. So it didn't matter what it was. She just to her was like, nah, that she wanted to suck his dick.
And were y'all were together, like y'all were committed.
We were committed. It was my girlfriend, and then the
And
second girl,
mm-hmm.
my recent ex, the last one, she was more open to everything, and then she became friends with everybody, and then
Mm-hmm.
I got jealous. Like,
Oh shit.
why you friends with all my friends?
Yeah.
Like, I want to spend time with them too. They went from asking about me to asking about her, and
Yeah.
I was like, that's genius. Like, so I would
Like
say
that's
to
a
her,
better way to play it.
best way to play it, because then it's
Oh.
like, well, all right, that's his friend, that's his associate. Let me get to know them without him. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I
Yeah.
wanted. But I didn't think it was gonna be like, oh, we're best of friends now. I'm just like, how you best friend with my best friend?
Right. Like how like that's my friend.
What's going on? How's that your friend?
Yeah.
That's my people. Like, nah, it's her people now. Now,
And do you think for the first girl that it was like an insecurity on her part, or do you think that you could have done better with making her feel like secure? Like, what do you think? Because I
now
feel like
I
a
did.
lot of the times
It was all her.
it was all her.
I did everything. Everything I've done like later on, I've done it with her. It didn't
Yeah.
matter. She just had this ideal. Like if you have an ideal, like an idea of someone, you can
Yeah.
like or the idea of how the most of the people that work in that like most party promoters are whores to most people. Like they're
Yeah.
whores, or they see him as like, I want to date everybody. It's like that's not always what all of us are about, and I don't really consider myself a party promoter anymore. Like I'm just a great host.
Yeah.
I'm a host,
Yeah.
and I like
And
having women friends. I have a lot more women friends than I do male friends. Not
mm-hmm.
because I'm trying to be up under women all day. You guys are just sometimes better friends, and
Right.
sometimes you guys give the best advice. A lot of times, actually, and sometimes when you're talking to your guys about something that's bothering you, they give you that man, fuck that bitch, man. We're gonna do this and that. Like, yo, I don't need that.
Yeah,
And they
that because that's not
really help
reality. Like,
grow
no.
you and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would say for her, if she really loves him or likes him, I say be strong, keep it up, or do what my ex did, like just friend them up until he like, all right, I'm gonna stop introducing, because I need friends myself. But he might actually like that, like if she does that.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I feel like whenever I have been in that space, it's because like I'm insecure because of like we are in the gray space. So it's like I don't know who these girls are. Like I don't know who's who, what's what, who wants you. Especially if I'm dating a super eligible bachelor, it's like people might want him in a sense, and it's like you can create that narrative though in your head and project that, and then it can actually start happening too. Like it's really just like what you create. So it's like I think that's really good advice. Like be friends with those girls or those people so you know what's going on
Yeah,
for real, and even they can't even cross you after that because then they're wrong because like they made friends with you,
yeah, true, true.
you
And
know.
trust me, I think that to me was played the best by my ex. Like that was like me personally thought that was the smartest thing I've ever saw. It like I was like, this is smart. I would have
Mm-hmm.
never thought to be like, you know what? Now I become friends with all these women. Now you can't do nothing, even if you want to. I could,
Yeah,
because
like
they
they
gonna
couldn't.
tell on me like, hey, you know your boo trying to fuck, or your boo here in my DMs, like. Even if I wanted
Yeah.
to, I couldn't. So I was like, damn, that's a genius move.
I like that one. I have not heard that
I
one
got
either.
checkmated. She checkmated me, and I wasn't even trying to. My ex was amazing. To the fault, and like I'm gonna bring up a few more times because the more we talk,
She's a
we
part of the
definitely.
story.
Yeah, she's an
Okay.
incredible woman. Shout out to Shantae Pitts. Got love
Oh,
for you.
shout out to you, girl.
Um, but
But
pretty
yeah.
much, yeah, no, that's a checkmate right there. I feel like I got
Okay.
checkmate. That was the first time ever I felt, damn, I was defeated on something I didn't know I even could be defeated on. I was like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you don't think normally like the guy normally isn't trying to be disrespectful.
no. I mean, for me and some people,
It's like
maybe,
someone who you actually are like interested in or really dating. Like you're not trying to like be disrespectful in their
nah,
face.
not someone where I can get caught. Like you
Right.
get caught, like easy. If you're outside, I don't never understand why promoters or people who do jobs that have you in the forefront. Like if I can
Mm-hmm.
spot you, I know where you are. Why would you do that?
Why would you be doing that? Right.
Yeah.
It don't make sense. Right. Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna go with his advice, girl. So that was really like good advice. So and we could even like melt that over to like your story because obviously we mentioned everyday people. That's a huge part of your story. But I would love to know like who you were, who you are now, like where you see yourself in the future. Like how'd you even get to working with everyday people, and also for people who don't know about the party, which is crazy if you don't, like that's nuts. Yeah, let people know like what it is, who you guys are, and stuff like that. What's the story of how it started?
From what I was told, because I've been there for a long time. I've been there for a while, But it all started with Sada. She came to MoMA and Roble, and she said I wanted to do a party, a brunch, because it started as a brunch. She wanted to do
Mm.
a day party. It was a brunch, and she wanted a certain type of crowd to be there of black people,
Mm-hmm.
and she also wanted that, that party vibe, and because what it was before, it ain't like it is now. It's like
Yeah.
two different, totally vibes. So Roble at the time was a really popular dude on TV, and in the industry, and chefing it up and everything. And Moment was also very well known and popular with the DJ, and then Sada was doing really well and popular. Oh, and I forgot what she was working, but she was really doing well too. And the only person I knew was Sada. Remind you,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna get into that. So then they ended up doing one. The first one was at the Rivington back in, like, I don't even want to say the year, but it was a while back, and it was just a brunch.
Mm-hmm.
As it progressed on and on, they had another like room. So after the brunch, people would go to the rooms
Oh.
dancing, and then people heard about it like, oh, all right, well,
Yeah.
like, let's go there and let's go see. And it got bigger and bigger. By next year, we ended up at the DL.
Remember that.
So let's
Yeah,
fast
yeah.
forward a couple
Mm-hmm.
of.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a really dark place at that time too. That's a whole different story. I'll tell you if we ever
Mm-hmm.
talk about it.
No,
I
like
was in a dark
definitely.
place, but
Mm-hmm.
I also was. I still had to pay bills and shit. I was living in the city at the time, and I was just running around outside way too long. I'm talking about after hours, all that. So I could never catch the party because it was too early. It was start at like 3, and I'm like just getting in the house at like 11, 12.
Yeah.
Wow, man, shit. One time I caught it the flyer, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to it on this Saturday. Went to it, I filmed it because I realized there was nobody filming it. So I was like, I'm gonna go there and give them what they need.
mm.
Went there, filmed it. Never done a slow motion video ever in my life, so it was a real like a testament for me. And I was like, yo, if I do this, they might wanna put me on, and it might be with a team. I do the video. I send it to. I only knew, like I said, I only knew Sada. But the person I knew but I knew other people there, like my man Josh from Street Inquisitor, Sherry Camacho, Kitty Cash, a good friend of mine. We went to
Mm-hmm.
college together. So I sent it to them, and Camacho, shout out to Sherry Camacho. She sent it to Sada, and Sada said, "Nunnie, thank you so much." She sent it to Moma and Roble. Immediately, Roble DMs me, "What's your number? I need to call you now." Give him my
Mm-hmm.
number. He calls me. He says, "That video was fire, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
We need more. I want to hire you to do another video." I was like, bet.
Say less.
So I was like, that's it. And then I met up with him. He pointed out some things like this can't be in it, that can't, this, that. Because, now I'm learning more about the business. And like, and if you ever see the first video, there's middle fingers, there's a lot, there's repetitive stuff. The first video to me was a great video because it's just a raw,
Mm-hmm.
first time, like I learned something, and you can see that. But me now, it's like it's so
Mm-hmm.
finessed and fine. Like it's so well put
It's
together.
refined.
Like
Mm-hmm. And I feel like you're like so good at like capturing like that raw essence of people like really having fun, you know? And it's not like staged. I'm not sure if you're having fun with them or how you do that without them getting awkward. You know, people get awkward when the camera comes around,
oh
but
yeah,
like you really are able to like get people like in that zone. I feel like everyday people, it's like, yes, it's like it's a party, but people get to just move and be free. And I feel like now people are dancing and doing that more, but back then people weren't dancing and being free and moving
yeah.
like in that way, at
No,
least like not of color, you know. Yeah, so
no.
that's so like super
For
dope.
us, it always was like that. Every time I've been in that party, people were just dancing.
Yeah.
Thing that wasn't a normal thing yet was camera and people faces. Because a lot
Mm.
of people wasn't filming parties. I was like the one of like the beginning. Like I was like one of the like starters in the beginning, like years ago, like 15, 10 years ago, at the parties like this. There was
Really,
always like
yeah.
now there's like one at every party, and you end up working like 4 or 5 parties because of it. But in the beginning, it was like people wasn't used to like, oh, that's a camera, so it's already picture. They still
Mhm.
gotta do that, but depending on which city you in, it's different. Toronto, they're not as like to the camera because they're like they
Mhm.
don't want to be seen, and you got to be careful with that, and it's a whole
Mm.
culture thing. LA is just all like, oh yeah, camera, they
Like
ready.
getting there, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
New York is too, but LA is a different. Every like I said,
I like in Houston, we used to have like in the mix and like remember all that type of stuff, like in the
yeah,
mix and like allparties.com or something. I forgot what it was called, but
R.I.P.
like with just photos and stuff though.
Yeah, I feel like everyday people is like a party that's from the old times that is adjusting and reshaping itself into the new times. What the party
Mm-hmm.
was in the beginning, it was nothing but models, a bunch of young kids dancing, and a lot of cool older people. That was like 25. I was like 24 at the time. I think 23. Now it's the same thing, but it's like a lot more of culture of like African culture has really embraced the because the three the main like founders are all African.
Mm-hmm.
So the culture of that is like really embedded into
Into
our party.
mm-hmm.
So it's like really fun. The whole Black American culture, African culture, the Black diaspora, the African diaspora is all there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just
Mm-hmm.
a good thing to see and be a part of, and that's why people love it so much. Because it's like
Yeah.
it be crowded, but then it's like people be like, it's so crowded, and in my mind I'm like, well, where you want us to go?
No, it should be crowded. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean we could. Well, we gonna go to the stadium?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a hard job for me because I'm like I got to get the whole everybody.
And it won't be the same vibe.
I won't be. It'll be
It won't be the
yeah,
same essence either.
yeah.
Yeah. So how did you start? I guess so have you been like going out? You said you've been outside. Like you've been like being out. Like you're from New York. So like how did you I guess were you just always outside? Was that like your thing? Like or when did you find your thing in film?
No. See,
Like
I'll say it started in high school when I lost my scholarship to play football. I lost
mhm.
from an injury, a head injury, and it was just like that's over with, my boy. And I was like, well, I'm gonna take a year off from college because I did that. I was out here wheeling and dealing, running the streets, doing dumb shit, and I was just like, I want
Mm.
to go back to school, but I want to go away to school. So I ended up, my boy. I'm gonna tell you 3 stories. I'm gonna tell you 2 stories first of how women have been an intricate part of my career, like
Okay.
big time.
Mhm.
The first one, my boy D Gabe, shout out to D Gabe, Derek Gabriel. He came. We was in a chicken spot chilling. Me and my man Carly Smith and a few other people. He goes in like, "Yo, school is fire." I went to Sullivan. He's like, "School is fire. It's a dorm. Got off campus." What he said to me that stood up the most was dorm, off campus housing, and he goes, "For every guy, there's 3 to 4 girls." I'm like,
You like I'm there.
"What you mean by that?" He goes, "There's me, and then there's 3 women for me, and then there's you, and there's 3 women for you." I'm like, "Oh, you talking about fractions and shit? You talking about math?" I was like, "All right, bet." Then so I applied, got in, and I had to figure out what major I was gonna do. I was gonna do liberal arts. I was like, "Nah, let me see." I ran into communication and media art. I read that it said TV, film. I said, "I like TV. I like film." I didn't know I could learn to do that.
Yeah.
I'm from Rockaway, Queens. I'm from the hood. Like, I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
dummy, but like, I'm also at that time was very ignorant to a lot of things
That's
that
the way the system was made up, so you wouldn't know what you could do.
exactly. So I ended up picking that because I was like, that sounds fun, like something I would want to learn and be a part of. Because I picked that, I go to school, I fall deeply in love with creating films. Like it's
Okay,
my
I thought you wanted like with a girl. I'm like, dang, okay.
which I've also have in school fell deeply in love with a girl in school that had me fighting. You didn't just say that.
Yeah.
Solana, aka SZA.
Mm-hmm.
I met Dice the God. I met homies from Lamont and Dolly. I met D and Ricky. I met so many people that like changed my life for the trajectory. So that's how my
Mm-hmm.
film career really started. Because from there, I ended up learning about Sway and all these other clubs and like fucking A Life and Union and all these places that are closed now, but they were big and very detrimental to me back in those days. So
Yeah.
that's how it really started of me getting in that way because I was just shooting videos like not really like I wasn't really shooting but with my boys. But when that happened, I was shooting events and I shot
So
with
after that, you just started to like shoot more and more events.
I was shooting with GFC Calendar,
Oh
Stallion.
wow.
Yeah, I was shooting with a lot of who else? ASAP Rocky and them. I met them. Theophilus London. I was
Mm-hmm.
back then. I met Plain Pat. Oh man, like everybody.
And
Uh,
that's like the brink of the digital era too. So that's like a nice spot to be for real.
it was like, and Rihanna was always around. It was like so many people. Kanye was around, and Kanye was in like his good mood and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna. Okay, okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. But yeah, that's how it all like
That's
progressed.
crazy.
And then
Mm-hmm.
like mid of like early 2020, like 2010s, that's when I got with Everyday People, and I've been with them for
Been with them ever since.
like eons. Yeah, yeah, I've been there for a
Mm-hmm.
minute. So it's been a great like journey. And also, that's not the only party I do. If you guys want to know,
Right.
do Freedom Party. A lot of the parties I do now is kind of like etch a sketch from like not etch a sketch, but like a tree from EP. Like they saw my work at Everyday People and they knew MoMA and they was like, "Yo, we want to work with Nunnie." And they said, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
They hit me up, work with Freedom Party, and then there was another one with my man Mike. Shout out to Nappy Hour, Nappy Hour.
Oh
So
yeah.
now I
Mm-hmm.
do 3 events, on a monthly. First Fridays, last Saturday, and then Everyday People like all weekend, all summer, and
Mm-hmm.
fall.
Mm-hmm. So in 2020, you had a brain stroke, correct?
Hematomic brain stroke. Exactly.
Hematomic brain stroke. Okay, so during that time, so I'm always like kind of like intrigued by how people who kind of are in the, I guess, party world, how they keep up with their like health and wellness and stuff like that. And like if that's even a thing or if like I feel like if I worked in that scene I wouldn't drink as much as like I guess someone who's actually going to the party in a sense. So I've always wondered, like, do you like how did you operate? Because like this is your job, but it's also fun and it's also like lots of vices around. So like before we even get into what happened in 2020, like how were you operating before that,
Shit.
as far as your health and wellness go?
Before I met Shantae, my ex girlfriend, I was out there wilding, after hours, drugs, alcohol, all that stuff. And in 2018 is when I really just quit it all. I was like, this is when I started dating my ex, Shantae,
Mm,
and I was like, you know what? I want to start anew. I don't want to start like wrong. I wanted to start
mm-hmm,
like over, and I wanted to get. I was smoking cigarettes, everything. So when it did happen, the stroke, I was very surprised. I was like, yo, I've been really taking care of myself, but also I've been arguing.
mm,
And I was stressed, and my blood pressure was high, and I wasn't paying attention to that. That's how I really got caught. I really just got caught because I got caught lacking. It wasn't
mm-hmm,
like I was unhealthy or, even now, like, I still eat kind of, terrible, but my blood
mm-hmm,
pressure is still pretty well, and I don't drink as much as I used to. So,
mm-hmm.
that all happened, and it was just, when, like I said, when the stroke happened, it was just crazy. But before that, even when I go to parties now, yeah, I get lit at Everyday People. Everyday People,
Yeah.
sometimes once a week. So that's the day I'm getting lit. That's it, that one
Mm-hmm.
day. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not getting drunk on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, maybe just that one Sunday, and then Monday through Friday, I'm not drinking. You
Yeah.
know, but me
Mm-hmm.
before, I was drinking like I'll say during 2020, I drank a little bit more than usual because there was nothing else
Mm-hmm.
to do. You know, we was
I feel
getting
like we all do. Like it's just it's just like so much a part of the culture. And I've been having like a lot of conversations because now people are starting to like think about other like being sober curious, just kind of like lessening like drinking because it really is taking a toll on all of us like for real post pandemic. Well, we'll get into that later. Let's talk about what happened with your stroke, what led up to it. It was like, well, I met you after the stroke, but I like going on your Instagram and seeing it was like so many people that just I guess everyone just like it was an outpour of love for you and what was happening.
yeah.
So walk everyone through the whole thing.
So let's talk about December. December. So the whole year has been like a rough year for me and Shantae, and we really were like fighting more than usual compared to 2019, which was my favorite best year. I just finished traveling the world with everyday people. We had like 60 events. Like we were going up, and then in 2020 we were going to do even twice. We were going to do more events. We were on it. We started February. Like we started early.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to start. We started everyday people February before COVID hit and like kind of messed up the whole trajectory. You know what I'm saying? To where we were trying to go. Um, yeah, no, it was like the whole year I was stressed. I was like, I'm not gonna be partying. I'm not. I might lose my work. Like right now I'm a guy that shoots, and I need to be in crowded areas over the people. So you telling me I can't do movies no more? I can't do parties? Where my money gonna come from? At that given time, the government was giving us handsomely, and that
Oh
summer
yeah.
it was paying us. I'm not gonna hold you
Yeah.
until about September. But like at that same time, it's like with all that money, like people were getting 1,100 a week. 800, like 900.
Mm-hmm.
We were buying Don Julio 1942 like it was water.
Literally.
Casamigo, like
Casamigos.
liquor store closing at 9, 10. You run in the liquor store by 8. You got three,
Going
four
to the park
dollars
to drink it and just get fucked up.
on
Like
the roof.
doing nothing.
Yo, we were wilding.
Like I
We
mean, but what could we do? Like this was like that.
we had
I
no
really
work.
think we don't take enough credit for like that was a historical like that was something crazy to happen to us.
So
So we
crazy.
didn't know how to react or what to do or what the world was gonna look like. So we was
Exactly.
like, fuck it, we gotta chill and enjoy.
And then it
What
gets
I'm
better.
do?
Bars were like, you can still come to us. You just can't buy liquor inside. We're gonna sell
Mm-hmm.
it outside. So now they're selling like liquor like it's ices outside. You like,
Yeah, I walk around with our slushy like.
yeah, so and because of that, I'm drinking a whole lot more than I'm usually because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not working. I'm still getting paid though, but I'm not.
Yeah.
And then we also still like doing stuff like at home. So they need me to edit this, edit that, and then I'm doing these little short films, very short films that really got me a lot more attention. And shout out to Kelly Rowland because she became a fan of my work because of that. So
Oh,
shout
that's
out to
amazing. Yes, we love
back to
her.
December. I go to Africa. I go to Zanzibar with DJ Moma, Boss, our people, Shantae, Sharnita. Shout out to Sharnita.
December 2020.
December 2020. Like I say, a week before, like a week and a half before Christmas.
Okay.
Me and Tay get into this huge fight. It wasn't acute. It was bad. We're starting to make up, but I'm still kind of stressed. I'm also eating a lot of seafood, which gives you high blood pressure.
Mm,
And, I
I didn't know
finished it.
that.
Yeah, me neither. I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, like, why is this not like, But so eating that shit. Next thing you know, it's December 30th. Me and Maine, we plan a New Year's Eve party, and then I'm at Roble's house because I wanted to go see, my lady at the time,
Mm-hmm.
Dante. And she's like working with it. We were working with Roble as well, with like little things we were doing. Like money was being made. Let's not get that twisted. And people were making money. Um, that next day I was in the crib, but my head was hurting. It was like I got a headache. It was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, it's 6 in the morning. I'm to the bathroom coughing out blood. My mother was at my house at the time,
Mm-hmm.
banging on the walls to get her attention because she was supposed to go back to Atlanta. And if she would have, I wouldn't be alive today. So because she stayed an extra day, she found me in the bathroom, like trying to like hold myself up. I
Oh
fall on
my
the floor.
gosh.
She goes, "What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?" I can't talk because there's blood all in my brain because a blood vessel somewhere in my body bursted and it went in my brain, which then
Mm-hmm.
took my right eye as well. I'm blind in my
Mm.
right eye now, so I can't
You
ever.
did tell me that, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys can't tell, but I can't see out of this eye. It looks normal,
Mm-hmm. So
but
is
it's
the other eye stronger? Like, did other
no,
senses get
actually
stronger?
no. It's none of my sisters got stronger because I didn't lose the like this. I lost like it's like blood covering something. And it's a whole thing that I don't know, and
Okay. Okay.
nobody knows what's wrong with my right eye. Pretty much, we don't know how to cure it. Nothing. I
Yeah.
just kind of gave up on it and was like, all right, well, if I want to like wear a patch, I'll look cool. But my left eye can't. Like, if it's like super bright now and I go into super darkness or like a dark club, it's hard for me to see in a club. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can't go from super light to super dark. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
My left eye can't take all that light and energy. And I'm kind of afraid what's going to happen to me in like 30 years. Like if my left eye decides to be like, well, fuck it, we done. But like, let's hope I don't go blind.
That's not gonna happen. Yeah. No, it's
In
not
40
happening.
years though, at 70, I'm cool with that. I'm thinking about it.
Just be able to hear. You'll be okay
Yeah,
though, but
I
it's
mean,
like I don't think it's gonna happen here.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep my eyes closed forever. Fuck it. 70
Okay,
years.
okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm having a stroke now, and
your
my
mom finds you. Hmm.
mom doesn't call 911 first. She calls my grandmother, and my grandmother's like, my mom was like, "Oh my god, I don't know what's going on. He's coughing blood, yada yada yada." My grandmother goes, "Why the fuck would you call me? Call 911." Super calmly, not yelling at her. She goes, "Oh, why would you call me, bitch? Call 911." Hangs up
She's
the
like,
phone on her. When she
hurry.
calls 911, you think the EMTs were gonna come, right? No, the cops came because they thought I was ODing. So the cop came looking like this. He looking around my room for drugs. Any drugs here? Mama's like, "What the fuck are
You're
you doing here, pussy?"
kidding.
It's like,
It's like
"Pussy,
you could have you're dying. Like,
dying." I'm sitting there coughing blood. She's I'm spitting out blood.
and
But
they talk about some drugs.
you see this carpet and that furniture and all this,
Yeah.
all replaced after I had that stroke. It had to be because it was nothing but blood all around my room for me, like coughing and spitting it up. Because I was literally dying, like in my room. And then the EMTs came. Was two ladies. So the two ladies and my mom had to carry me down my steps. I'm like two something.
So the police officer just left.
No, he stood there the whole time and watched, like still looking for drugs too, like this,
That is
chewing his gum.
disgusting.
Like I don't know why I remember him chewing gum, but I just remember looking at him like, why is this nigga chewing gum? Like look at that shit like this.
That's not funny, but like,
No, 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 he was like this.
look,
Look, nigga was
looking
like
at stuff with his
this.
hand on his
Nigga was
hip,
like this.
probably. I'll beat him up. That's
Bro was like,
crazy.
what's in this? Huh? I'm like, my nigga, it ain't drugs.
And you're literally bleeding
And
out.
now got to the hospital immediately.
Even if it was drugs, you still are about to like help.
Yeah. Got to the hospital, immediately flatline. I immediately die. And now they got me back. And then my mom calls my Shantae, my ex girl, calls her and goes, I don't know what's going on. She's crying. She's hysterical. I'm her only son. My dad got
Hmm.
three other boys. I
So
got.
they told your mom that you flatlined.
I'm gonna get to that. So
Okay.
'cause what they say next is fucking horrendous, and I didn't know that you can like do that or even say that to people, but it's fucked up. So I'm flatlining, and my ex just told me something recently too. When I think about it, I flatline. They bring me back. I'm still in the hospital. I'm just blood everywhere. They cut this part of my hair to get in my brain to get the blood out and shit. We'll get in my skull and get the blood out. All my family, my whole family came up there. My cousins, my uncles, Shantae, they all drove. Shantae don't drive a
Hmm.
car. Roble calmed her down, and then he put her in the cab. Shout out to Roble for that. Put her in the Uber. She came to the hospital. They're in the hospital waiting. They hear them go, we need medical, we need some doctors and everybody in this room. And then they said, we need you guys to hurry because I flatlined again. And but it was kind of hard to
Twice.
resuscitate me this time. I was done. I was like, I was dead. At that point, I'm just dead at this point. Now they're just like, I couldn't even breathe on my own anymore. Like, I got all these tubes in my nose and my mouth. Like, that's how I got the tracheotomy.
Hmm.
My mother picked
Hmm.
that instead of doing the
So what are you let's pause, like what are you, if anything, I feel like you told me this, but I feel like I was lit whenever we had this conversation, but what were you experiencing, if you can remember anything, while like in that flatline phase? I feel like a lot of people always question like the afterlife and like what that looks like? Is there another dimension that's going on? Maybe like another level of consciousness? Like I feel like when people flatline, it's like they are almost there but not there. I don't know. Like what? Like you gotta like paint a
I,
picture for that. Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
feel I'm gonna paint a very a descriptive picture for you. For me, the whole time I was going to the hospital and everything, and my brain and what was going on in my mind was like I was being carried off, like a surgery almost. Like I couldn't really move, but I knew what was going on. But it didn't feel like I was being taken to the hospital. I feel like I was being taken to like death or like this is the end. And my mom somehow was like a spirit that was with me. It was like a weird dream though. And then I thought I was going to jail because that was the whole thing. Like I did a crime and this is it. I'm going to jail. And I don't
Maybe
know
because
why.
also because of that stupid ass police officer.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. And I put it was a weird situation.
Like your
And
mind would just
next,
put on things together.
and then next thing you know, the whole time I was in the dream, I couldn't talk because they put the trach, and I just couldn't talk. And then next thing you know, I like close my eyes and I'm up, and I'm in this room. My mom's boyfriend at the time, ex-boyfriend now, but boyfriend, Dave. He's actually my barber too. Shout out to Dave. Shout out to you, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
He comes into a room. It's like we're like in this like a nice little cute hut. He goes, "How you doing?" Very soft, deep voice.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so we decided to take you here because you deserve to be here. You don't deserve to be there in jail. We got your favorite beer. We got your favorite liquor. Come out when you're ready. For some reason, there was a Komodo dragon next to me, though. I don't know what it was trying to eat me. I don't know what the hell that, what that. And I get up, I grab a Corona. It's the best Corona I ever had. I go outside. Everything outside, like towards like the ocean. I can hear ocean. It was bright. My whole family was there,
Oh
dead,
my
alive,
gosh.
and
Oh my,
everybody was
like
just chilling.
dead and alive.
Yeah, and it was just really bright. It was like a beautiful, really beautiful day. Like I'm like, am I in LA or some shit? What's going on?
You're like, this
That's
weather
crazy.
not like New Jersey.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh shit, I think I'm dead. Cause I'm
Oh
like,
my
I've seen people I
gosh.
see like in forever, like my cousin Ed, and my uncle, and these they passed away, and it was all my loved ones, and everybody was there, and everybody was just kind of like pat me on the back, like, yeah, man, couldn't let you go down like that. We got gifts for you. They was giving me gifts. It just really felt like it was my birthday. Like I really like it. I don't
Oh
know.
my god. It felt like it was your birthday.
And then
That's wild.
out of nowhere, that Komodo dragon came outside and looked at me like,
Wait.
yeah. And the next thing you know, I'm back. I'm waking up, and I'm in a room that I don't recognize, and I got all these tubes down my throat, and I'm choking, can't talk. I got everywhere. I hear beep beep. It's a lot of beeping in the hospital, and I'm just trying my best to get the fuck off this and get the tubes and everything off me. I
This
kept
is
having.
in real
Now,
time.
this is real time. Now
Okay.
I'm very confused. I'm like, yo, I got a New Year's Eve party to do. I gotta get out of here. Kept saying, stop it, or I'm gonna put your ass to sleep. I'm like, what is this lady talking about? So after that, now I'm in a coma for a month. Right after that, all of January. Wake up again, very confused, because my last dream I was in a
Wait,
helicopter.
so she put you to sleep or you just went back? You
I
fell
went back
back.
to sleep. I just fell back to sleep, and I got put in a fucking induced coma because the
Okay.
pain was too great, and it was like trying to take my life.
Oh.
Like
Mm-hmm.
they gave me the Michael Jackson drug, the drug that killed Mike. They gave me fentanyl. They was giving me all types just to keep the pain down. Just that
Mm-hmm.
the pain might be too much that it would like end up like I
Actually kill you. Yeah.
for like killing me. So they just put my ass in a coma, and then I just really fell into one, and then I was just in it for like all of January, and that whole thing going through that mentally, it really fucked me up. I'm not gonna hold you. Like the mental of it is like I couldn't believe I had a stroke at that age.
Yeah.
But then over time, I realized a lot of people had strokes of that age and young, and a lot of people of a young age do have strokes. It could be high blood pressure. It could be something that you don't realize that is going on or is happening,
Mm-hmm.
and and it happens. It happened to the
Mm-hmm.
best of us. It happened to me. You know what I'm saying? I was
Mm-hmm.
doing pretty well and eating and taking care of myself, but I also was stressed, and I was also
Yeah.
I didn't
Like the
know it
stress
next
probably
year.
like triggered it for sure.
The funny thing was, I was going to take a break from drinking too.
Oh
I
wow.
was going to drink all of January and February. I was going to take a whole like 3 month break and shit.
Like
And
a fast.
yeah, it was a scary situation. Like, it took me 2 years to recover. Like when I got out the hospital, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. Anytime I lay down, I felt like I was good.
So you were out for a month?
Yeah, all of
First, how
January.
long?
I was in the
All
hospital
of
for 55
January.
days, and I was in the hospital from December 31st, and I got out of rehab by February 13th.
And so you woke up and you just was like hello, like what was your first thought when you got up?
Why can't I talk? Why can't I see on my right side, and why can't I talk?
Because
Because
you
my
don't know what happened. Like,
yeah, and I
and so
kept
did all of these memories start coming back to you later, or people had to tell you?
a lot of the things that I had witnessed in a coma. It always felt like something was off, but it felt real too. So
Mm.
I had one where I cheated on my girlfriend or ex girlfriend. I gotta say ex girlfriend. Guys, I am a single man, ladies. I had a dream when I cheated on my girlfriend. I actually told her too. I said, "Yeah, I was paying a friend of mine, and it was a friend too. I knew." I had one where I tried to escape prison with my nurses try to help me, which was weird because I never saw them, but they looked just
Mm-hmm.
like the ones in my. It was a weird thing. Um, I took a picture that made me go in slow motion for like a day or two. I was always hungry, and I lost a lot of weight from that. I lost like 70 pounds. I
Damn.
went from 210, 220 to about 160, 175.
Mm-hmm.
It was a crazy.
What's also interesting to me is like who you saw in those dreams. Like is Dave like a father type figure to you?
He's like an uncle or like an
Like an
older
uncle
brother
type
type.
figure?
He's like
Okay.
old enough to be my father though, but you know,
Yeah, but in a sense of just like who he is to you as a person, like that's just interesting that that's who was like a calm in like that storm as well, and it's like your whole family being there and stuff like that too,
yeah. And
and
he
then your
checked on me
girl.
a lot. He checked on me a lot. Shantae stayed with my mom the whole January. Stayed at my house, waited for me, and I was so mean to her. Shantae, if you watching this, I am sorry. I was
Mm-hmm.
so mean to her. We just talked about that the other day, yesterday, when I was supposed to be here yesterday, but we talked about it, and I was really like distant because I was in my mind going through a lot of like,
Yeah.
what the fuck just happened, and I don't know what I'm going through, and it's like I was trying to figure out how it happened. Why the fuck am I blind in my right eye? What's taking this fucking neck thing to heal so long, and why can I not stand up for more than 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
And even when I
What
was blind, it was hard too. Everything.
Yeah, like what advice I guess would you give people who even like if their friend is going through something, whether it's a health thing, whether it's just like a mental health thing or whatever, and they want to be there for that person or that friend, but it might be taking a toll on them. Like it might like how you were
Yeah.
saying you were being mean to your girl. I'm sure that was hard for her, but of course, but like shout out to her for doing that. Like that is a huge blessing. So I guess what advice would you give to someone who has to be there for someone, but it's just really hard to do that?
Take your time.
Mm-hmm.
Just take your time plus more time. It needs to be very not monodical, but like a real like sit down. Let me think. Don't get upset about how they're talking. I had friends tell me like, "Yo, this ain't you. Like you're a different person." It was
Mm-hmm.
like a former shell of myself, and I had to. It took like I said, it took me 2 years to get back. I was making so many mistakes, and I did so much dumb shit, and I made so many promises I couldn't keep, and like I was
So
so
like
tired.
you're saying afterwards for like a year, that's like how you were?
For like a good 2 years, I was
A
making
good 2 years.
mistakes and just doing dumb shit, but I wasn't myself anymore. Like I was so in my head, and then I had to get a therapist that really helped out a lot. Get your friend a therapist if you want to,
Yes.
like mental shit. They got to get their mental. I had to get my mental back.
What has your therapy like what like I guess if you want to share any breakthroughs or is it just like for you just talking to someone, letting it out? What has therapy like done for you
For me, it was just
specifically?
more like I need you to listen. I don't need you to say much. I just need you to listen and ask like the right questions. And the therapists that I had, the three that I had, they all really just like listen and like like okay, so what does that make you feel and what is it? Because sometimes all I really need is somebody to listen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear what you got to say.
Mm-hmm.
I need it to be a one sided conversation. Like I don't care about your day. Just
Right.
about
Don't
your,
project anything, yeah.
yes, just listen to what I got to say right now because
Mm-hmm.
I need you to just listen, and that's what I really needed. I needed someone to listen because I needed to talk some shit about some people. Like honestly,
Sometimes you guys just talk some shit. Like
and
literally.
and then I had a good cry in 2022 when I really like thought about it overall. Because a lot
You
of
only
people,
cried one time?
I cried a couple of times, but
Okay, I'm like,
I had one really good cry though because it was just like a lot of people were really loving it. They was like I was still running into friends. Even to this day, I'm still running into friends. Like, yo, fam, you don't understand how much that hurt me. Like, and people telling me like, yo, Blase Blah called me and was crying and shit. Like, when the first time it came out, which was like 31st and the first and the second, like certain people learned and then they told other people. And imagine like you sitting at home and the love of your life or your son or your cousin, somebody you really care about is like in this coma and it's going on days now.
You don't know.
It's almost about to be a month, and they said, "Oh, he's waking up here and there, but he's back to sleep." That shit's fucking scary. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and when I woke up, I wasn't very loving to nobody. I was just very
Mm.
on myself because to me, nobody was real in a sense. I
What
was
do you
still
mean?
like I was still coming to myself. Like I was
Like
still
everything was still like coming back. It's almost like everything got like swiped away and
exact.
had to like come back.
Yeah. So for me, it was like a real. I need a minute. Just give me a second to like get back. And then then I was dealing with like real shit. Like I'll be in the shower for like mad long because the water felt so good. But if you put me in the cold, it felt like I was dying. I couldn't drop. I used to have to put my underwear and stuff on. When I would dry myself, I would have to
Mm-hmm.
sit down, put my underwear on like this. And I'm out of breath. I'm like,
Yeah.
then I had to do it with the left leg. And then I would sit here like this. And then I had to do it like this. And that shit would like burn my arms and my legs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I can't do this every fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
That
Now, it
just
even goes for some people who might have like ongoing health things like lupus or even like a lot of eczema or just people who aren't comfortable in their body for whatever health reasons, and people are like they might seem like miserable or like what's wrong with them, but it's nice to know like okay, they might be going through something deeper that you just don't know about, health wise. Is why they're just like
yeah. And
acting that way. Yeah.
for me, it was like I went from being a real like strong boy to strong man, and I never had like real challenges like learning how to rewalk. That also was in rehab. That was my rehab. I was in a wheelchair most of it until they give you like a green sticker on your back, or you can go without the wheelchair. But if you don't have it, you got to be in your wheelchair 24/7 unless you're in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that I just wasn't like mentally ready for. Like to be like, yo, you can't walk. A thing you've been doing your entire life, you can't do that no more. Not because you don't want to. I couldn't even sit up. I was like this.
Yeah.
If I sat up, it felt like I was like the whole world was like this. And if I would have, and they would have to help me stand a little bit, and I would walk like I was fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Those
I'm sure that
stories.
brought like a lot of insecurities and things like that
Yeah,
too.
all
I
of
feel
it.
like a lot of men don't talk about like their health issues.
Got to.
Actually, they don't at all. Like now I'm thinking about it, I know that like if someone has told me like someone I'm dating like tells me like about a health scare or whatever, it's like really like a big deal for them to even like open up about it. But it's like you guys need to start talking about that more. And it doesn't make y'all weak or anything because you went through that. It's just it's health. We all have health.
But I do understand that feeling of weakness though, because that's what I was feeling like deep down in
Mhm.
my heart. I was like, I'm so weak, and I've never felt this weak, and I feel like if I did talk, even when I got to the hospital, my mother was on my back immediately to be exercising, walking. I'm like, fam, I just got home. I don't want to do shit but just lay in this bed for a couple of days. She let me do
Mhm.
that. Monday hit, yo, get up, run. My mother was like the harshest critic, but also the most caring. But that's because I needed that. But at the time, I was just like, yo,
I can't.
I just mentally
Yeah.
defeated, and then my mental health wasn't at a good level, and I had to get that back. Sometimes when you tell that, especially to black people, like the therapy is a thing, mental health, physical health. Sometimes they
Mhm.
don't want to hear that shit, or they don't want.
Yeah.
My cousin,
Especially like, what do you think? You think it was kind of different also because you're so like public facing, like because you have to go through this huge thing and like possibly not come back to your community the same. Like you might look different, feel different. All of like, did that kind of take a toll on your mental health too? Like,
no, actually, that didn't. I didn't really care for that. I just wanted to.
okay.
I want to get better and get back to working with EP, which I did later on that year. But when I first went back, which was in like May or June,
Mhm.
it was a little difficult. I was like, and I was taking these meds that kept putting me to fucking sleep at like 6 p.m.
Mm.
So I had to like find a way to take those meds at like 4. Shout out to my man Anthony Smooth, great dude. We would drive to EP and I would sleep in his car every time like this. I would hit my
Mm-hmm.
meds, pass out in this car, and then go to everyday people and be good to go.
And then that's amazing. So I feel like and I feel like they supported you a lot. Like the whole community
Yeah.
supported you a lot throughout that process, right?
I really appreciate everybody that supported. Like, thank you all. Love you guys. Like, I know it's been 2 years and we're kind of like whatever about it, but I
But
always think
community is everything.
it
It
is.
really is.
You really got to,
And it's good that you shared it. Like what made you want to actually put it out there?
it helps with, yeah, actually for me, it helps mentally to talk about it and to put it
Like
out.
just be straight up.
Yeah, not to like let it sit. If you let it sit in your head or you let it just stew, let it stew
Right.
over it. Beef stew ain't always good for you. That's what beef stew is
Yeah.
delicious, but it ain't good for you. But sometimes I don't want to talk about it, and then I don't. I don't got to
Mhm.
talk about it every day, but I run into new women, I run into new like friends, and I gotta tell them like, yo, I might forget you, like, and I forget a lot now too. So
Oh.
there's still long
Mhm.
term effects. Like I'm missing my right eye. My memory is even worse than it was before. Like you could tell me your name right now, and I'll forget it in like 2 seconds. And
Mhm.
oh, I give you even a better one. If I haven't seen you or heard from you in a while, I'll forget your name and your whole face and everything
Just like
about you.
forget everything.
Yeah,
Like
like my brain can't store as much as like it used to.
right. Well,
And then when
like
I explain
later, if
that,
someone kind of like gives you hints, could you recall, or it's still just like,
no, no, if you can give me hints, I can recall, but I might like forget you. I'm like, you got to be okay.
it takes like a minute.
People don't be okay with it, so it makes me feel bad. And then I was like, now I'll be like, I don't give a fuck you.
Mhm.
I can't feel bad. Like I had this situation that happened in my brain that's like, and it still affects me. And then explaining that over and over does get a little annoying, but I don't mind explaining it.
Mhm.
But people be like, oh yeah, and then they feel bad. They're like, oh my bad, I forgot. No, you didn't. You just
It's like,
the same reason how I forgot you. You forgot what. People forget. That's just all.
yeah, it's
It's
okay.
okay.
Yeah. So how do you, I guess, live your life now in a sense of like your routine, your everyday routine, stuff like that, and also just like in a spiritual and like yeah, in like your world perspective, is it different? How are you now,
I
and
try
what
not to think
matters?
too far ahead. I don't think I really can think too far ahead anymore. For
Mm,
me, I take it day by day because low key in my mind, it don't come up all the time, but like very rarely, once in a blue, I always think I'm on borrowed time sometimes. Now that I've touched death and I've
mm.
had this happen, I'm always like, yo, appreciate every minute, every day, every second, every hour, as much as you can because like I said, that shit happened out of nowhere.
It just came
You know what I'm
literally out
saying?
of nowhere.
I was like chilling and happy one day, and then I was dead and in a coma the next. So in
Mm-hmm.
my mind, I took that and go, let's focus on today.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm-hmm.
think about what you want to do for the week, but like focus on today, enjoy
And
today.
making today like that day.
Because that would suck. It's like, I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, and then you don't, and it.
Right.
Oh, I didn't tell you what they told my mother. What made me
Mm.
so mad and made her so upset. So when I was, flatlining, they said if he flatlines again, we don't have to resuscitate him. We can let him go.
What?
Hmm.
Like, well,
They were
why? Who would say okay to that?
well. If
Because of
somebody,
bills and stuff.
you got to realize, I also was like low key brain dead too. Like they were saying, like, yo, it don't look good for him. Even if he survives it, he's gonna be a vegetable. It was over for me. I wasn't breathing on my own. I don't know how everything came back, but they were just like, it's a wrap for this boy. That's what they said, and that's what they said. If he, you know, goes flatline again, we don't have to revive him if you don't want
What do
us.
you think about like the health care system and stuff like that now that you've been through that? Like, because I feel like there's a lot of times, especially with black people, like they don't dig deep enough into what's really wrong. They kind of just do these blanket diagnosis, and it's like everyone is so different. And like you survived, and
Yeah,
and like, what if your mom was like older or something, or she just didn't have it and just was like, actually, okay, just like let's just let it go, you know? Because
I
that's what they thought, which is they're wrong. You're sitting here talking to me right now.
honestly, it has a lot to do with my family and how much they care about me. Like my mom, if she wasn't, honestly, I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for my mom and Shantae. Shout out to those two.
Mm.
They were there when they were there for me every day that they can visit. They were, even when I was in a coma, they was checking on me and making sure I was good. And I had this crazy like fear of like the nurses because They doing 26
Were
hour
they
shifts?
mean?
Nah, they just were menacing. Like they had like this look like this one doctor. I knew she wanted me dead. Either she wanted to fuck me or she wanted me dead. I wasn't sure. And also, like there was like there's certain things that got taken away from me. I don't know if I can say it. I'm gonna say it
You can
anyway.
say it.
So I'd say that they had to physically wash me, and
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't too happy about how I was looking. Like my body looked like it got ran through with a fucking truck.
But it's like you're in the hospital when
Nah,
your mind is like, I don't
I
care.
was like, fuck that. I've never been this vulnerable around anybody.
And that's also another thing as to like just going to the hospital, I mean, well, to the doctor more because you'll be more comfortable with people, like with nurses and with doctors looking at your body and stuff like that. I feel like we don't go enough. So it's kind of just like everything just feels weird in the doctor in the hospital.
Wasn't the other thing. I couldn't tell them. When I told them the one time not to wash me, they're like, we're gonna wash you up. I said, that's how I would have to tell them. I couldn't write. I would try to write. I had to ended up writing with my right hand, but I'm left-handed, so that was a whole thing in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, not being able to talk is so annoying. I had this one male guy. He washed me a few times, and I just was like, "Yo, bro, you don't got to do this." But I couldn't tell him that. But it's his job, and he was doing like 16-hour shifts, like, and it was just always like he was just always there. Like he was always right there. And then also I went through this real mental thing where I thought like there was monsters. Like they were doing experiments on people that was like real like American Horror Story. Like they was putting body parts together. And people was like,
Mm,
"Ugh." They was like making these crazy noises. I was like,
mm-hmm.
and like, cause I couldn't move. And it felt like I was just like somebody was holding me down. And it was like so close. And it was
Like
like
those like those scary dreams where you're like half awake and half not.
I was full awake because I would sleep most of the day. So at night, I'm just sitting there like I would just cry all night because I'm like, yo,
Oh
this,
shit.
this is the end, and
Because
I'm
it's
gonna
like it's
die.
going in your mind, but you can't do nothing. That sounds like torture.
Sure, it was. At least I was clean though. I ain't gonna hold you. They cleaned my body, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Oh
that
my gosh.
fucked me up. I was like, yo, they're gonna kill me here right now. It's dead. I'm done. My numb is done. This is it right here. I'm
What do
meant.
you think about like heaven and hell now, or just like that whole concept of like the afterlife? Like, what are your thoughts on it now?
I've always thought afterlife is the same thing. It's like we go to our greatest memories, and we're just all just like we have our own private island. That's what you get when you go to heaven.
Wow.
If you do go to heaven, hell is like your private nightmare. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
it's like what I was going through in the hospital was like kind of like hell to me in the sense of I was like, yo, I just didn't understand. I always wanted my mom. I wanted my mommy. You know what I'm saying? I wanted
yeah.
my mom. That's what I was felt like. I felt like a child. And so every
Wow.
time my mom and them left, I would cry.
And like so you could feel them you knew.
And then when I would talk, it would go, ah, no. It would like it sounds like I'm screaming at them, but it sounds like my voice is like so far like, oh, like I was like I
Mhm.
didn't want them to leave, but they had to go at like 9, 10 o'clock because that was the last time for visiting hours. And I just was like, please don't leave me. I
Mhm.
don't want to be left with them. This one particular nurse is either gonna rape me or she's gonna fucking kill me.
Oh my
I
gosh.
really believe she was gonna kill me. And then they would laugh and they would do stuff, and I couldn't see them, but I could hear them. So it, like me being a filmmaker, my mind was racing.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut him up and cut his dick off. I'm like, no, not
And
my
it's gonna be I'm
penis.
not sure if you plan to like make like a show or make something from this, but like it's so much that you could do with that experience creatively. Cause
Yeah,
what? Cause a lot of our minds have not gone to that place. So there's so much that you can show us, even just from talking to you. That's why I was like, oh my God. But like that'd be dope to see what you can do creatively with that too.
yeah. It was just the nighttime was. I was 6 in the morning when they would give me my morning pills. That morning pill put me to sleep, so I was having crazy dreams. All my dreams were always crazy. It was if I can sit there and tell you about my dreams, it'll take a couple of hours. It's just a lot.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell
Mhm.
you this one thing that happened after
Mhm.
I got out the hospital that I didn't know was gonna happen, and then but when it happened, it was very just like demoralizing, and it really just kind of put me back in this real like sad state and depression. My penis wasn't working.
Oh my
Like it,
gosh.
it couldn't work.
Like
So
you was trying to do it and it didn't.
let me give you the first time that I try to with my girl. She ain't getting none in
Shout
a
out to
while.
Shantae. She's a real one.
She
Wherever
is.
she's at.
She's a real one
A
because
queen.
I a super queen. Shout out, love you, Tay. Thank you so much. Again, I told her that yesterday when we was kicking it. I was like, yo, thank you so much. Fucking we making out, and I'm just like, yo, I'm about to bust. I feel like I'm not even doing anything. She touched me a little bit, and I do nut, but nothing came out. So I had to read like, get my. It was like a whole thing.
You took
My
a
body was too.
reprogram everything.
Yes, my body was too sensitive, and I had to re get there. So it was a couple of months. She had to really deal with some trash shit, some trash meat.
Mm-hmm.
I was giving her fucking
Got trashed.
giving her McDonald's from a trash can. Trash. Like
So
it was.
what because this is like even a lesson in just like dating and dealing with someone who you really really care about, but y'all are going through like life things, and that's what's happening to a lot of us in this age like right now. So it's like, so what happened, would you say? And like why is she your ex?
It's this. It's really. We spoke about it recently. It just really comes down to like what I was going through mentally and what I was like. I wasn't giving her love, the love that she deserved. And,
Mm-hmm.
that's really on me, and I really apologize for that. And I just really wanted to be to myself with it. I needed to be alone with this stroke thing.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it and really think about how this really is going to affect me for the rest of my life, and not having an eye and being a one-eyed filmmaker. I need my eyes. I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I'm a cinephile. I'm a filmmaker. All that shit is all eyes, and I only got one. So it's a real like menacing, and it's really scary. And I just really wanted to do it alone at first. She was real supportive and everything, but I didn't give her the love she deserved, and I was being
Mm-hmm.
real mean. And again, like it really sucked
Mm-hmm.
that how it ended like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, like a lot of like women, we aren't getting that love or whatever from the guy that we want it from, and a lot of times it's because they are going through something that's like deeper than all of this that they need to like sort out for themselves. But it's kind of like, are we supposed to stay through all of this, or are we supposed to go and find our happiness, and maybe if it works out later? It's really a tricky thing, but
And
I
it's,
do want women to stop blaming themselves, because I
yeah,
feel like we do that a lot. Like we will start nitpicking ourselves, like, is it me? Is my hair not long enough? My booty not big enough? Like, what is it? But it's really like the man and his own things that he has going on, or vice versa if it's not working out the other way, you know.
yeah, no, it was definitely on. And we had some fights in 2020 that really didn't have to happen. And she was making these life choices that I wasn't really too approving of and not happy with. And I was drinking too much and being drunk and just doing dumb shit. It was just
Yeah, we don't talk about that enough either. Like we talk about all the relationship problems, but like how vices also like escalate stuff and just make things way more messy than they should be. Like that needs to be thrown in the relationship debates and conversations for real.
yeah, no, I agree 100%. But it's a new day, it's a new me,
Yeah.
it's a new old me. So I feel like myself again, but like plus one. You know,
Yeah.
is some. It feels like there's another person inside of me, but there's also the old who I was, and I feel like I feel
Yeah.
you
Even
know
talking to you now from the day that I met you, like you feel like more of who you are. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I met you,
more
was it
energetic.
2020
It was
or
no, it was 2021.
2021?
It was 2020.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like, and it hasn't been that long. That's a big deal. That is huge.
Huh?
Like
It's a
you
huge
need. So I hope you give yourself grace as you're like adapting, and don't beat yourself up for like how you were. Like, and I'm sure everyone who knows you knows your heart. You know what I'm saying, and knows you're a good person.
I'm atoning
And yeah,
my
you
last.
said what?
I'm atoning for like the last 2 years of like
Yeah,
how many I make dumb mistakes, and it made me
we
also
all do.
but it also made me realize like I can't use that as a crutch.
That's true.
And I was using it for a crutch. Like, yo, come on, man, this just happened. And people always start like, I know you had this, but this, that, and the third. And I'm tired of people saying, I know you had this. Now it's just
Mm,
I don't want that to be like I said, I don't want to be a crutch. And
like a
knowing
part
people,
of your narrative, like
yeah, it is a part of my narrative, and I'm okay with it, even if they bring it up. But I want them to be like, good job. That's all.
yeah.
That's why I took on more responsibility with everyday people, and I wanted to be a leader instead of just feeling
Mm-hmm.
like a living. And I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to step it up, and that's what I'm trying to do this year. Step
That's
up,
amazing.
find ways to get us more, and find ways to change the game. And that's what I talked about with them recently. Like really making everyday people the quintessential of like the event. And we're
Mm-hmm.
like right now we
Y'all
did
already are.
we
Y'all
are
are that.
we did nine I'm gonna say like nine. We opened up nine parties to like get tickets. Eight out of nine of those tickets are all sold out. Like the
Mm-hmm.
first batch of
Yeah.
tickets is sold out already. Only one is not sold out yet is Amsterdam. Because that's new. That's very new.
Mm-hmm. New
But all
York
the
one is what, June? June something.
wait,
I'll
what?
be there.
Which
The
one?
the, the one in New York.
The one at Elsewhere or the one at Knockdown Center? June
Oh,
18th.
is it two? The
Yo,
June 4th one. That's the one. That's
can
the
I not
one.
give you the schedule?
You sent it to me, but yeah, but like I don't remember. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like look at it again and make sure you know which ones because I don't think we sold those tickets yet, but check for.
Okay.
But also, like I said, I got you.
Thanks.
Let's hope
Please.
that
Yes.
let's
Oh
hope
my
that
gosh.
none of your booze are there, and they'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, my bad, I'm over here." Wait, let me ask you a question. So when
Mm-hmm.
you saw some, was he like dubbing on women? Was he like
No, he literally, wait, hold on, let me plug this
his
up. Hold
niggas
on.
like, yeah, yeah?
He literally was just walking through the crowd and then he saw my best friend first and he saw me and like gave me like the longest, sweetest hug ever and was like, what y'all want to drink? Like, then he went to the bar and then I just like had to just go away.
Why'd you go
It
away?
was me. I was, and then like literally, like I left, and he hit me up. He was like, where are you at?" I'm just like, it was too. I was overwhelmed.
That's crazy. I wouldn't have left. Fuck that. He could leave.
I know I shouldn't have left.
I wouldn't have. Nigga, you in my city. Get the fuck out of here.
No, he lives here. It's his, like he lives here too, but
I
he just
still would have told
wasn't.
you to leave, but
Hmm.
this is my friend's party. Get out of here.
Like, but nah. So okay, so before we wrap up, I feel like I could talk to you forever. But before we wrap up, like, what do you want to leave everybody with from your journey and what you've experienced you have not shared already?
The new saying I'm going with is be kind.
Mm-hmm.
Be kind to your family. Be kind to your loved ones. Be kind to the girls that love you and the men that love you
Mm.
as well. Be kind to your girlfriend. Be kind to your boyfriend. Be kind to your side chick. Be kind to your side dude.
Yeah.
Be kind to everybody that's in your life because you never know when it can end. I'm at that age now where I'm losing people to old age.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather that than murder or any dumb shit. But you got to realize when you get to my age, you get ages even older. You really start losing, and you should really take the time to appreciate the people in your life. And I could have been. I am my mom's only. Wanda Barker is her name. I'm Wanda
Mm-hmm.
Barker's only son. I'm Kevin Jordan's third. My bad, fourth son, and I'm his oldest. So he got three
Mm-hmm.
more. My mom wouldn't have nobody. And I would hate to be buried by my mom. That's the one thing
Yeah.
I don't ever want. So what I say is be kind to your family. If you beefing with them, make up with them.
Right.
Don't. You know what I'm saying? Don't have them go out with hatred in their heart for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like go and make up. Wear condoms. That's important. I
That
know that
is
was
important. People don't like to wear
word
them.
at all.
People hate
I don't
that.
mind. I got a whole drawer for them. I don't mind wearing condoms because Raw feel like somebody's whispering in my ear like, yo, you don't gotta pull out, right? What do you mean, bro? Yo, you don't have to. A baby ain't that bad. That's what Raw does. Raw makes you believe in things that don't exist. Like,
And raw, like believe like you in love or something for real. Like,
yo, we can be a daddy, bro. I think we could do it. We could change some diapers. We could do this. Yeah.
so wear your con. And as far as men's health go, what would you say to that? And when it comes to like stress, especially too, and eating. Mm-hmm.
Walk away. Take a moment, walk away, think to yourself and go, breathe in. That helps a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Even taking my time and
Them like breathing really is the key to a lot of things.
The fucking key.
So simple and free.
So simple, so free. Breathe, guys. I know you think that nobody cares. I'm gonna tell you guys, I care.
Mm.
I care for you. I care for your health. I care for your happiness. I care for it all.
Mm-hmm.
Care for yourself and know that I care for you as well.
Me too. I care
A
too.
heterosexual male cares for you. It's okay. It's okay to be straight and care about other men, bro.
Yes,
Like I
it
care. I
really
love my
is.
dudes. I love my guys. Me and my guys just had real quick. Me and my guys had dinner over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's the greatest thing ever. To like sit with your guys and you grew up with. I call them my childhood brothers.
Mm-hmm.
We sat down. We had dinner. Then we went to like S&S bar and we had got bottles. We had tables.
Mm-hmm.
We just really enjoyed ourselves with some other women company, of course, and ourselves. A lot of my friends, they got kids now. That some of them are married or they're about to get married or whatever it is. So it's like,
It was a good like
yeah, when we could
just
come
being
together,
together like the
yeah,
old days
we can come together and sit down and just be us. With
and really talk.
it's fucking like the best.
Yes, be vulnerable and share for real.
Watching some sports. We're gonna do it again in probably like a month or two. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
love yourself, gentlemen. Also, get
Mm-hmm.
yourself checked out. Go to the get that. Yo, I'm at that age where I'm just soon had to go get that colon like
The,
check.
the prostate.
That prostate got to get checked soon. Get that check. I gotta go.
They're already getting in touch to play with anyway. So it's some people just go.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
You got some little something off your chest you want to say?
No.
Do your fingers got something to say? Jesus, yo, go get your blood. Go get your blood work. Go get blood done. Get your. I'll show you. Hold on,
Mm-hmm.
real quick before we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my charger too. Wait, while I'm here.
See this right here? This is my. I put this on my arm. This is
Mm-hmm.
what checks my blood right here. I roll up my sleeve and I put this on my arm, and it checks my blood pressure. These
So did
babies,
they
right?
say that you had it before, or it was like it just kept getting higher and higher?
Nah, I don't. Honestly, I don't even know because I never checked it back then. This is what the pill. This
Oh,
is all the
okay.
pills I take. Not the fourth one. This blue one is empty, but I take pills 3 times a day. Keep my blood pressure down and keep me alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's now my life. You don't want to live that life and be like me. So take care of yourself. I gotta take
Mm-hmm.
meds all the time, which is not a problem, but you don't want to be taking meds like me, man. Trust me. You don't want to. And I got lucky because I was
Mm-hmm.
young.
That's what I'm saying. I was gonna say like you are lucky.
I'm 100%. They tell me that every
Literally.
day in the hospital. They said you should be dead
Yeah.
or in a coma or brain dead. My left first thing when I woke up, my left side was barely moving. So I was missing my right eye. I couldn't move my left side. I thought my life was done. I said, bro,
Mm-hmm.
I can't move my left arm higher than like this. And if I'm moving it higher, it took me a little while to do it. My right arm was like this though. It's like, yeah, we here.
Like
My whole left side was like, it felt like I got hit by a fucking truck.
it's okay. So your left, so this eye was,
Right
and
eye,
then this, yeah, that like the
couldn't see it.
opposite.
Yeah. And some people like they shit be like slurred down. They can't talk no more. Or some of them are still in comas.
Yeah, I guess it depends on like what side of the brain was like attacked the most, like the left or right, and like the
Yeah,
creative versus the not. So
you don't want to have a stroke. Yo, gentlemen, women, you don't want to have a stroke. A mild one, a mini one. I had a massive one, and I
hmm
got lucky.
and other young men are having like we've heard of about other young men having these strokes and things like that, like
Nene
as
Leakes,
well.
Nene Leakes,
Yes, that's
yeah,
who it
he's like
was.
30
Mm-hmm.
too. He had one. He
Mm-hmm.
recovered. My best friend Ari, shout out to her, and my her boyfriend BJ. His brother had one. He's like a couple of years older. He also kind of like recovered really well. And
Mm-hmm.
anytime I had a stroke, I gotta talk to him. It's like, yo, me, my man Nunnie, he too had a stroke.
You're like,
I'm just
dang.
like, all right, let's get into it. Let's survive yours because you look fine like me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I'm fine, but like this right here is all gone. This vision.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I tell somebody I can't see my right, you can't see out of that eye. That's the
Like I can't, like I couldn't tell. I feel like you told me that too, and I was like, I can't tell.
that's the thing. Nobody can tell. They be like, I can't even tell. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, you want me to wear a fucking patch all day? Like, what do you need me to do? So I
I
got
think it's actually I think it's more intriguing and like shocking. It's not with me like, oh my god, but it's like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
Who would have known?
This is what I was looking like in the beginning when I came out the hospital first.
Wow, you could make that a part of the brand.
I could, but nah, I don't like the way it just fits on my head.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I bet it's like uncomfortable though. Does it help with the other? Oh, because they say that if you cover this one will get stronger.
I don't know what it is, but it's just hard because I
That's
can
what they tell kids.
I don't know I can't I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like I wasn't doing it right just now. But this is what it was. I was out here like
Mhm.
one eye Willie. It was cool. I mean, it gave me a little cool look, but I'm happy it's gone. But yes, please be
Mhm.
good to
Yes.
yourself, ladies. Treat your vagina with care. Men, treat your dick with care because STDs is still a thing.
Mhm.
I'm still trying to be careful from that as well. Love your pets. Love your kids. Take care of your kids. Love thy neighbor. Love thy friend. Love thy
Mhm.
family. Love thy God.
Mhm.
Thy Buddhist, whatever you believe in. Love that. Love yourself and follow your dreams. Do
Yes.
something that you love. Don't work a job just for the money. You ever see how guards look when they work in like the parties? Don't be a security guard
They
at a
be
party.
miserable.
They fucking hate their job, but they make some bread when they want to. But they're not a fan of the job. Don't be them. Don't be a person
Mhm.
who hates their job. You shouldn't be at a job you hate unless you're a felon. I get that. I'm sorry. That sucks. No, it's true because you're very limited when you go.
Yeah. So what's next? What's next for you? Speaking of dreams, outside of what you're already doing, and you might already be living your dream because I feel like sometimes people are like, "What's next? What's next?" And I think that also gets us in depressive modes too. Sometimes when we just keep trying to do next and next, whatever. But yeah, what's next for you, or what do you want to do next?
The next few things I want to do, I want to, like I said, I want to build up everyday people. I also want to build up Nappy Hour and everything I'm working. I want it to get to the next level. I'm also
Mm-hmm.
writing a book. It's called Dead Ass Facts.
Oh wow.
Volume One, New York City. It's a fact book. I can send you some of the. I'm gonna send you a page.
Yes, send it to me. Mm-hmm.
Send you a page after this interview is over. I'm gonna send you that. I'm also trying to do a TV show called Dating While Black. That's something I
Mm-hmm.
want to get out there. So I wrote the first, the pilot episode and everything, and it's about the black penis. It's about dating as a black person. You know, the race interracial dating and how like that can be a destructive like mind thing for a lot of people and also people who are
Mm-hmm.
upset about it and it's really just about it's like dating while black also is like driving while black or this while black but I thought about like dating while black is also very detrimental to black people like there's one episode where I focus on color where it's like
Mm-hmm.
when you become a threat you start seeing color so everybody's in black and white and then every time a black person or a Latino person says something that's threatening to like everyone their color comes in like
Mm.
the color of their skin the color of because white people
Mm-hmm.
always say I don't see color and it's like,
Yeah. Until you're a threat in
so
any way, right?
a lot of the episodes really talk about like racism and like how it's like like the black penis like every black dick is big it's not true
Mm-hmm.
you know
No, it's not.
how much that's pressure for us and also how we don't talk about how much there's pressure for sex for men as well like
Mm.
be good and a lot of times we don't get chances to show you like we don't get that 64 times to show you that I might that one time I was trash but I'm good every other time
Mm-hmm.
first
Because of
time
pressure, yeah.
that anxiety because I have anxiety when I have sex. I'm not gonna lie to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Be good at sex and get have a hard dick. Like what if this person I'm having sex with isn't giving me the attention that I need?
To
So
even feel desirable, like for real, yeah.
or what if I drunk too much liquor and now I got whiskey dick or whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is that happens. So that's what the show talks about a lot more is about dating and a future film in the future. I got some time,
Mhm, you have time, yeah, for
time.
sure.
Maybe I have a kid someday. Maybe I'll get married.
Mm-hmm.
A kid is a very
Mm-hmm.
unlikely thing, but some likely. I don't know. Let's not get into.
Mm-hmm.
What up, kids?
Love that.
You said what to
We
my daughter.
always like end the show with what brings you peace of mind. Um, so you can go ahead. Like what or like so it can be like what's been bringing you peace of mind this week? What brings you peace of mind, period? Like
Movies. Going to the movie theaters brings me so much peace of mind. Like
love.
love it, and working everyday people
Mm-hmm.
peace of mind because I'm giving. I'm giving my black community a circle, a community to. I'm giving them my community to be a part of us having a good time and not worrying about anything, but having a good time and booty.
And booty.
Makes me
That's
just.
a great place to end.
I just want to lay on
And
some stuff like.
booty.
I don't even want to do nothing nasty to it. I just want to lay on it, like
Just lay on it and rub it. Just it.
lay on it, rub it, and just be loving to it. Like
Oh.
booty be like, I do love you, and I'm like, I love you too. It's a very loving
You
situation.
are hysterical.
Thank you. I
Oh
try
my
to.
gosh. Yes. Okay,
Maybe.
where can the
Oh,
people
one more
find
thing. One more thing.
you? Say it
One more.
again. Mhm.
I got one more thing. I want to do a one man show explaining like how I got the name Nunnie, like how I got into film, and like just explaining that and making it into like a whole production, and like like I'm like it's like a comedy like stand up, but it's like more like a storytelling, like how I
Do you
got.
know Jameer Pond?
I feel like I do, yeah.
I'll send you his page, but he works at Condé Nast and like worked in I guess like hosting and things like that. But he's been doing this one man show thing about like his life and stuff like that. And he's been doing it like in just like little like I feel like smaller clubs out there,
Mhm.
but it's like becoming a thing. I'll send you his page because he'd be dope to connect with for sure. And he's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely get some feedback and ideas and everything. That's like a more
Mhm.
of a next year thing too. So
Yeah.
that's something
Mhm.
I want to do in recent
But
time.
like in the future for sure. Yeah.
Maybe in the winter. I feel.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, what
Okay, I
you
love that. Yeah, no, I was gonna say, where can the people find you? With like, what's your page? Anything that you want to promo?
want to
I'll
find
put all.
me? Let me see. Hold on, let me just double down and make sure I'm giving you guys the right pages. First one you can find me on, I would say my own page, but I don't have one. So I'm gonna give you my Everyday People page, which is gonna be Everyday People. That's spelled not even every. So our IG is Everyday People. So it's www.everd. No, sorry. www.everydayppl.nyc. If you put a slash, put events, EVENSTS, it goes
Mm-hmm.
right to the events and you can get tickets from there. We got a party
Mm-hmm.
coming up May 27th at the Rockefeller Center.
Look at, I'll have hella shit coming up.
We got
Hella shit.
yeah, hellish. We got something on the 29th, and then we got something on the 4th of June. We got LA 10th and 11th. We got New York on the 18th. It's a whole thing. We got Detroit next, and we got Toronto on the 17th, London the 25th of June.
Do
We
you
got
go to every single one?
I go to most of them
Most
because
okay.
we have shout out to Elliot Ashby. He's our
Oh,
other.
Elliot, love Elliot.
Elliot
Okay.
is an amazing filmmaker and a photographer. Shout out to him
Mm-hmm.
and shout out to us. And we got a lot of events coming up of time. If you go
Yeah.
to LA if you can, that's a great one. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the LA one has been looking like fun as fuck. I've been like, dang, like what are y'all doing over there?
no, Freedom
What
Party.
what like venue is that?
That's Beehive. That's just like a space. We just get.
Because it just feels like it's like open.
It is. It's just a space that we could put out. We produce that whole party, so we paying for the sound system, the security guards. We got the food trucks there for people to eat. We got all the liquor.
Mm.
We got we're providing everything for you, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the way we produce parties now. So out in
I
LA,
love.
maybe we'll do that in New York eventually at a time. But right
Mm-hmm.
now, LA, that's how we
That's
gotta
how it
do.
is.
That's the size we got to do. We got to do things at that magnitude and that size, and that place is the
Mm-hmm.
perfect place to do it at.
Amazing. Well, thanks for taking the time out to chat with me and my friends on the pod. You were
If
an
we would have did this
amazing
yesterday, this
guest.
would have been a big problem, though.
What'd you say?
If we would have did this yesterday, it would have been a big problem because I was moving.
Yeah, no, and yesterday I was hungover like half the first of the day, and then I was literally trying to work all day. The meet everything was just crazy yesterday for me too. So like,
Thank
yeah.
you.
So that's so everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, and I ain't getting no sleep yesterday, so this works perfect.
Yes, perfect. And definitely I'll see you even like before that if there's anything else that y'all are doing or that you're doing, I'll pull up, let me know. And definitely we'll be at the party for sure.
Okay,
So
so let me know which. Give me the dates that you think you want to come to, or you think you can make it in the next like month or two, and I'll keep a June 4th probably would be like the least ideal, mainly because mad people asked me for that already,
it's gonna be crazy.
and I already promised my tickets away, so
Okay, okay, okay.
maybe I can hook you up. Let's see what I can do.
Okay. I'll let you know. All right. Thank you. Have a good day or evening.
You have a good night as well.
Bye. I'll give you like all the details later for the pod and stuff too.
Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.